Honor to have on the couch tonight a man I remember reading about and seemed larger than life when I was a kid here in the New Haven area. Former head coach at Wilbur Cross High School, Bob Saulsbury. And Coach, thanks for coming in.
Well, John, thanks so very much. That introduction you're talking about, oh my, it makes me feel as though I'm old as the hills.
No, you had some fantastic teams back in the day. I remember getting the paper and reading all about Wilbur Cross and how much success you had. What, 28 years on the side?
That's correct, right. That's the head coach, right.
9 state titles with Wilbur Cross?
Right, yes.
And at one point, #1 high school team in the country.
Right.
That's a lot. You've accomplished a lot.
Well, you know, one of the things that, and I don't to sound modest, very humble, but anyone could accomplish what I was able to achieve when you have good ball players. And you have players that can do the job and follow directions and win ball games. They make you look great. But one of the things that that's always puzzling to me, everyone said, you know, Bob, you're such a great coach. And I would tell them, it's my players. So my last year, I had gone into my final year of coaching with 495 wins. Obviously, it's a cinch to win 500.
Right.
No siree. I never got there my last year. I won my first game, and I lost 17 straight games, only to win my last game, which I had a record of 2 wins and 17 losses.
I've heard you were tough to play for, but in a good way. And you could see that now because so many of your players still treat you as a father figure and are still there for you and part of a family.
You know, that's the thing that's so nice, because I've always tried to make the players aware of the fact that, you know, you represent not only the high school, the city, and the state. You know, what happens is that we receive so much publicity. I said, it's so unfair for the youngster who's in the chemistry lab or somewhere in math class. They don't get the recognition. And some of the coaches who work just as hard, if not harder, and for the lack of great ball players, they never get recognized. But it's not because they haven't tried.
You're a New Haven guy through and through, born in the city, went to Hill House High School. How did you get your start in coaching?
They didn't have men of color in coaching. And when I saw one of the school bulletins, I was in the elementary school at Dante School for applicants for the assistant coach at Wilbur Cross High School. So I said, I don't want to coach. I never did, but I said, let me just see whether or not they'll give some person of color some recognition. So I said, let me go and see Red. And I knew Red Verder. And I went over and I saw him and I said, Red, I'd like to apply for the position if you don't have anyone in mind. He said, well, I do have someone in mind, and that's Paul Caviera. I said, fine. I was satisfied that he would give me some consideration. So I said, I left feeling very happy. I got back to school, there was a phone call from Red. And I called him. He said, Bob, I just found out that Parky can't take the position because he's not in the school system. So you're my man. Now, when he said that to me, I had mixed emotions because I didn't really want to coach. I didn't. So now I didn't fill out the application. So he called my wife at that time. And to make a long story short, she filled out the application, submitted it. So by rights, she should have been the head coach, not me.
Behind every good man, there's a good woman, right?
That was true. Right? No, that's a true story. Right.
Well, were you nervous? Is that why you didn't fill it out?
No, but I just didn't feel as though I didn't think I could do the job. I didn't feel confident.
Well, I think you did the job and did it okay.
The thing that helped me tremendously, that Red Verderam was fantastic. He gave me a list of things which I followed. It was like a Bible. And so the things that he had done, he was so successful. I just followed what he laid out for me. Okay. So that little piece of paper with about 10 things I should do and 10 things I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And I really followed that right till my final year of coaching.
Do you ever wish you kind of stuck out a couple more years, coached a little bit more, got to 500, or is that you
No.
satisfied?
You know, it's funny. Red said to me, let me tell you, the time is going to come and you're going to realize that it's over. You may not think so, or the fans may not think so, but you will know that you've had enough.
Well, I know you're a very humble gentleman, but there's a lot of folks out there rooting for you to make it into the Hall of Fame.
Even if I am not inducted, it's immaterial. It's just the fact of being nominated. And just to be able to sit here and talk to you and tell you about my players in general, what they had done for me, is enough for me. I'm satisfied.
Well, I see them surround you and the love they have for you, so you clearly did something right as a coach, even despite all that yelling and screaming.
You're so kind, and thank you so very, very much.